Welcome into Gamesthetic episode 245. I'm Alex Light with Sparky3. Hope you're having a phenomenal day today in this very icy part of our life across pretty much the entire country for the most part. Shout out to that. John, how are you doing on this icy day for us?
It's real cold and icy. I'm just bundled up and just trying to be like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna be comfortable.
Yep. No, I definitely feel that. And man, we didn't get any of the fun stuff for context for people. We just got like 3 inches of ice outside and it sucks.
Yeah, it is. It's white and it looks pretty, but man, it's not. It's not fun.
Yeah, no, I saw a kid earlier trying to ride his bike, and his bike just kept getting stuck in it because it's just ice. Oh man, funny. I'm also sick, which is great. You know, I feel like I've been sick since Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna be fighting and battling off coughs in this episode. So I do apologize for that. But I am excited for today's episode because we got the Xbox Developer Direct, which featured, of course, Fable, Beast of Reincarnation, Forza Horizon 6, and the surprise fourth game by Double Fine of KILN. And then we did have the Life is Strange reunion, little direct trailer showcase thing earlier this week. So a lot of different things to be excited about. I got some other things to touch on throughout the show in the weekly wrap up. So first time here, definitely subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate the extra support as well as the extra support over at Patreon. We'll make sure to shout out our merch and shout out Rogue later on in the show. So John, first thing I want to throw at you. So you know, I just posted earlier the Gamestetic game of the week, and I sent it to Zach, and I was just like, it's been a long time coming, but you know, we got here. And I asked Zach, I was just like, no, I had a question for you. Me thinking that Alan Wake is like a solid 7 out of 10 at best type game, is that strictly because of I'm playing it for the first time in 2026, or am I just small brain and don't appreciate the story? And he did agree that probably a 7 out of 10 is probably a good rating in today's age. And I'm like, all right, I'm glad it's not just me and I'm not appreciating something unbelievable.
Yeah, no, because I think I told you that after the show last week
Yeah.
too. Because I was like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's probably mind blowing when it came out.
Yeah, no, exactly. It probably
but
was.
but it's like now, it's like played a whole bunch of different stuff in that time.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he did confirm that. He said at release he probably would have given it a 9, but he said he thinks a 7 is probably pretty fair in today's age. I'm like, all right, I'm glad I'm not just being super harsh and critical of this beloved game for people. I still have not started 2 yet, but I am excited to start 2. But I'm probably gonna actually, when we're done with the show, I was actually probably gonna go in and finally like finish the 2 DLC chapters for Alan Wake because I haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna start Alan Wake 2 sometime soon. I am excited for Alan Wake 2. It looks sick. It looks so good. I tried starting your Total Chaos game. I have not got very far. It's just not what I was feeling in the moment. But I did at least try to start it, and I will play it. I immediately I get into this game, John, and I'm just like, why did you even try to play this?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like literally,
did you get far enough into it to go? Yeah, he wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, like I did. I got far enough in the first like little bit where I was sitting there questioning, like, yeah, why did he even try this? I don't know, but I commend him for it. So
sometimes you see something and you go, maybe it's time.
yeah, maybe this is it.
It's not.
No,
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. One day though, one day you'll get something that will draw you in. I just don't know what it's going to be.
No, I will stay in my lane and be happy.
That's fair. God, trying not to laugh is gonna be very difficult with my cough, but it is what it is. No, I mean I'm gonna play Total Chaos. I mean the vibe is pretty interesting. I will say that, but I need to actually sit down and play it. I've just been playing my brain rot still, unfortunately. But I think I'm putting the brain rot down. I think I'm done with the brain. I got my kick. I got my kick out. You know, I won a natty. I got my kick out. I got it out of my system. So now I'm ready to go play some other stuff that's actually of high quality and high substance. You know, and not just college football. So I'm ready to move on. Ready to get something better substance for me. So probably, like I said, finish Alan Wake, fully finish it, finish the DLC. I'll probably start that tonight. I will say I did watch the new season of Unreal. Have you seen it yet?
No, I've seen that it's come out, but I haven't watched it yet.
Pretty solid. Some really interesting stuff in there, that's for sure. New season's coming this summer, new episodes. So I enjoyed it. we get the Royal Rumble next Saturday. So we'll be live for the show. We'll be live for the Royal Rumble, probably reacting to the Royal Rumble like we normally do. Might be still be a remote show because weather does not look promising for this stuff to be melted. We'll see. We shall see. John, you got anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you've watched? Anything you've seen? Anything to shout out before we get into stuff while I cough real quick?
I'm not gonna lie, it's been a very nothing happened week for me. Uh, it's one where n honestly, not long before you messaged me, earlier being like, "Oh, yeah, you'd be good for the normal time of that." I was it was probably like 20 minutes before that, I was like, "Man, I should probably watch this Fable stuff before we do this show."
So I've actually watched the Fable and the Beast and Reincarnation stuff twice because I watched it once while I was at work on my phone, and I wanted to watch it again on on a full monitor or a full TV.
Yeah,
So
no, I watched most of the Fable, and then I swapped over to start trying to watch the Beast and Reincarnation stuff, so I'd have a bit of an idea of what was going on.
right, yeah. No, I gotta say with Fable, I'm excited as hell now. Like I think Playground Games absolutely cooked. I know me and you both were like in a position of like, it's Fable. We're interested by name alone, but we got to freaking see something. We got to see actual gameplay and what they're gonna do with it and whatever. The little bit we've seen hasn't been much, but I walked away feeling like, okay, this feels like Fable in 2026. At least that's how I felt. I think it's mostly because like the living population stuff, they really drilled home that element of things, which was obviously a really fun element of the original games, where kind of like how they described in the showcase, like all of that was like low key, almost like a game within a game. You know what I mean? So I thought the living population stuff was super sick. The combat itself looks fine. I mean, I'm gonna get by with it. I'm gonna have fun with it, but I'm mostly excited for just the world and the living population and stuff. What did you take away from it? Did you walk away impressed or just kind of like, it looks fine?
I walked away from it being like, "Okay, it looks fine," uh, but I've gone from I've gone from what we kinda talked about, which is show me something, show me that it's real, and now I'm kind of sitting in that area of, okay, I mean, you showed me that it's real, and it's like, it sounds kind of interesting what you're doing, but now everything they've talked about, like, lives or dies on how it feels.
True.
So for me, now I'm like, I mean, I went from I don't know about it to I'll play it, but whether I'm gonna enjoy it or not is gonna it entirely depend on how it feels because the way that they showed it off and the way that they like explain their world and everything, it's entirely based on like user interaction and user choice,
Mhm.
which means you can't really just tell someone how good it's going to be because if it really is based off of user choice and how you play the game, everybody's going to have the same game, but it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
So it's one where I'm like I don't know if I'd say I'm excited for it, but I'm gonna play it now.
Right. Yeah. No, you're actually in now. No, I mean, everything that I saw, like, I walked away again super impressed. But I do understand what you mean. So how's it going to feel? Because like, I guess the biggest thing is how's that combat going to feel? Because they really drove home that what you play the game how you want, like
Yeah,
you
it
finish enemies how you want, kind of thing. But it's gonna
the
really depend on how it feels. Like for
the
me, and just
combat
like
looks the combat mostly looks whatever.
yeah,
It's a serviceable combat. The by far the coolest thing about any of the combat they showed was the spells.
mm,
Like the spells and the magic in the game were by far cooler than anything else.
true.
The melee combat was it was whatever melee combat. And then like the range stuff, they had some cool looking ranged weapons
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like that looked like they interacted cool for combat, but for the most part, nothing looked exceptional except the magic.
yeah. No,
The
I
magic,
can agree with
the
that.
magic when they actually used it, it looks impressive. It feels impressive, which if you're the first hero in a generation and that's what kind of defines you, the ability to use it,
You want it to feel that.
it
Yeah,
better be good,
yeah.
and
It
it
better
looks
deliver.
good.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was one of the things that I took away from. was the how great the magic looked, and like I agree too. Some of the range stuff looked cool, like like that X crossbow they had and stuff like that, and also just the kind of swapping between the different combat styles as well. Something else they kind of showed too. But, like you said though, the combat for it is serviceable. That's the main thing. The environments, I will say, I thought looked really sick. I got really excited by a few of the environments, like the overgrown like vegetable patch and like the forest with the giant mushrooms and stuff. Like stuff like that looked really cool. And the whole game is open world pretty much from early on in the game. Um, the biggest thing that's gonna be how it's gonna feel though is really gonna be like what kind of what you alluded to of just all those choices. How's that going to feel and work? Like they kind of like dove into it a little bit where, every town can have a different opinion of you. Like, everything's subjective, which everything about the 1000 NPCs all romanceable and all have their own things and every house you can walk into and every home you can actually purchase. All that kind of feels like super ambitious where it's like it kind of gives me that slight bit of caution. It's like, all right, are you going to actually be able to knock it out of the park with this living population and like everything about it?
See, but I I could be the odd one out here. My take on that of like, oh, we have 1,000 handcrafted NPCs that all have their own unique dialogue. You can romance, you can do everything. Being able to walk into every house. My attitude on that is sure. That I mean, I don't I don't need to be able to walk into every single house. I don't need every NPC I talk to have its own unique dialogue. And it's like I don't need all of that, but it's like if that's it better work and it better feel natural in the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, it's like the game better make me feel like I want to go talk to all of the characters because otherwise I'm just not gonna do it.
yeah. You'll
I'm
talk
gonna
to the
talk to
handful.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk to a couple of them to see what it's like how the dialogue and everything works. But it's like it's like the only part about like their system with all the NPCs and that I actually like the sound of. Not that I don't like it necessarily. I just didn't have a better way to phrase it. Is all the characters remembering things
yeah,
about you?
yeah,
So if your character looks or acts like rich in that, they'll just yell insults at you as you're
yeah.
walking by. That's the only part of it that I'm like, okay, that feels or that looks like it'll feel interesting at least.
Right.
It's like the rest of it. It's like I don't care if you have 1,000 people that I could romance, or if I could buy every building that exists in the world. I'm never gonna walk around and do all that.
Right. Do you think like a little bit of like any sort of hesitancy that like either of us have just comes with the timeline of this game and just like what this game's been through? Because that thought crossed my mind
It,
watching it, of
it's
where it's like,
it's less about that. It's like it's the large focus that they put on those aspects of the game
mm,
where it's like because for me I'm like I'm gonna be interested in exploring in the gameplay aspect of it, and it seems like you like Playground was a lot more like they did that, but by far they were much more interested in
the living
the town
population.
and the people
Yeah.
and the population and that aspect of it. And I'm like, we're talking about an action adventure game here. I'm interested in the action adventure part of it,
Right.
and I'll do the interacting with people part of it when I have to. But it's like most of their showcase was about the systems of people and all of that. I'm like, that's the less important part for me.
Yeah, for you, yeah. Do you think a possibility of why it was such a huge focus is because like number one, that is what everyone like loved so much about the original Fables, and number two, like maybe Playground is just kind of pushing it in a sense of like, hey, you already know what we can do in an open world type environment. Like just trust us on this. Like, do you think it has a little bit to do with that, or it's like they have a reputation of making these like super beautiful, gorgeous worlds with Forza Horizon, and they're just like hoping that you trust that they did it here.
Well, it's less about the like landscapes and like how good the game's gonna look and that. Because yeah, they make open world games, but they don't make open world like
Adventure
combat
game. Yeah,
games.
exactly. Yeah.
So it's like I would rather them show off a lot more of that to make me trust that a little bit better because the combat that we've seen, like we said, it looks like whatever melee combat,
Yeah. Serviceable.
and it's like
Good word.
it's like it's there, but it's like every good action adventure game has to have decent combat
Yeah.
or like a reason to explore the world. But it's like I get people liked it from the original Fable games, the original trilogy, and that. I liked it in the original trilogy, but it was also those games are a lot more like they're a lot smaller in scale compared to what it looks like they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
If you're going into the open, if you're making an open world and go and do whatever, okay, I'm gonna go explore the world. Meanwhile, you're telling me about all the stuff that's available for me to do in your towns along the way.
Yeah.
Granted, they're going to be big towns with a lot of stuff to do,
Right.
a lot of quests, a lot of interactions to have there. But at the same time, I want to be out exploring the world
Yeah.
and seeing what you actually put out there for me.
Yeah.
If I end up spending most of my time in the cities, that's where I find open world games miss the plot sometimes.
Yeah, it kind of slightly reminds me of whenever you talked about Avowed and how like each of those worlds, like once you beat everything, those worlds were just kind of empty, you know? Because they didn't you say they didn't respawn?
Yeah, yeah. It was like once you beat all the enemies in the area. I don't know if that ever changed, but when I played it, once you killed all the enemies, you just roam around and do whatever. Nothing ever respawned. So it's like
Yeah,
you would just walk around an empty zone.
yeah.
Besides, like
It
where the NPCs were designated to be.
yeah, it just kind of makes the world feel like empty and lifeless, you know. So like I can get where you're coming from because like that's one thing. Like while we know the world is going to look unbelievably gorgeous, as we also saw from not only the Fable trailer, but just from the Forza Horizon 6, like you know they're going to deliver on a beautiful looking landscape and world and everything. But you know, is it going to feel lively? You know, from
Yeah,
the little bit they
put
showed, it does. But you know, how
you
lively is
better
it really going to feel?
you better put stuff out there in that world for me to do.
Yeah,
Give
exactly.
me a reason to explore.
Yeah,
Because as like Avowed is a great example. Yeah, once you killed everybody in each zone, then there was nothing, no enemies or anything to interact with there. What that game did though, every every place that you went to, every hill that you climbed, mountain you scaled, like cave you went into, there was a reward for you somewhere.
right.
Because it's like there was always a chest somewhere. There was always something for you, and if you hadn't found it yet, it was around the corner. It's like that was a game that like rewarded you for exploring. There's
Yeah,
always stuff. So it's like if you're gonna give me a big open world to explore, better put stuff in there for me to do or stuff for me to find.
yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna start beelining for the quest and end it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from because like that's one thing was me and you both have played multiple open world games where it's like the world just feels boring and lifeless. Hell, Hogwarts Legacy was one. It's like besides
Yeah,
Hogwarts, what was the point of that game?
yeah. It's one where like this Fable game, I'll play it, but it's like especially in 2026, it's not gonna be like when I played Fable 2 and I just spent like I would go and like do the little daily jobs at like the bar or the smith or something like that. I'm not gonna be doing it's like I'll do it once to try it probably, but I'm not gonna sit there for an hour playing around doing it like I did back then.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna test it out and then I'm gonna go about my business because there's other stuff to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's where it's like that's a lot of what they talked about was the just kind of hang out and see how stuff goes. So it's like, oh, it's cool. Hopefully you make me want to do that. But right now I don't have I don't have the faith that I'm gonna want to do that.
Yeah, and we'll get another trailer over the summer. At the Xbox Game
Oh
Showcase.
yeah, it's like we'll see more about it, and it could be one where it's like when we actually get our hands on it and play it, I may be coming in, I may be coming on the show and talking about all the characters I'm talking to, how I can't leave the towns because I'm there talking with everybody. I don't see myself doing that, but there's a possibility that it ends up happening that way.
Right. Yeah. No, my initial reaction from everything from it is that I really think Playground's got something cooking, but me and you like we're both interested in two different things for the game, so that's where I can see the kind of the differing of thoughts. Like you want to see more of that open world, like action adventure. What am I can do? And I'm pumped as hell for the living population. I think they did a great job with that, but I do agree with you 1000%. Is that world going to feel lifeless or not? Is it going to be just like a pretty painting for me to stare at, or am I going to have shit to do?
Yeah,
Hopefully, I'll have shit to do.
yeah, yeah. Don't make me a pretty world that I'm just traveling through. Make me a pretty world that I'm constantly doing stuff in.
Sure, sure, I can agree with
Like
that.
give me that pretty world that they've shown off to us with like the density of Tainted Grail
Hmm.
of like with the everything to do in that game.
Yep.
It's like that's do me something like that, and then you've got something cooked.
Right. Hey, shout out to Tainted Grail as well. They passed 1 million sold. So big shout out there. What'd you think of Beast of Reincarnation? Game Freak's new game that they're also like outsourcing. There's been so much stupid conversation around like how who's developing. It doesn't matter. Game Freak's part of the process. It is what it is. Game Freak, just the name Game Freak naturally comes with hatred in just some capacity.
Yeah, it's
But
one where it's like it doesn't matter. Every company outsources to other
yeah,
people, and that as well. It's like they start it. Doesn't matter if they then hand it off to someone else to finish. Their name's still gonna be on it.
yeah, they're involved. Call them
Uh,
the people.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what to think about this game.
Ooh, okay.
It's like I don't. It looks weird. Uh, I'm interested in it. I'm probably gonna play it.
Especially since it comes to Game
Uh,
Pass.
yeah, it's like I'm probably gonna play it. It's just one where I haven't been able to decide if I'm excited for it or if I'm just intrigued by it.
I feel like just immediately the way that you're talking, you're just intrigued because I'm also a mix of excited but intrigued, but mostly intrigued. Like it definitely has my attention.
It looks really strange. I can't tell if it's actually if it'll actually be fun. And it's like there's just a bunch of little stuff that they showed that as I watched it, I'm like, what what's the point of that?
Yeah,
Like I'm like skimming back through.
you talking about like the Vine hair stuff?
Yeah, but that it's like
I
not
thought
even
that was
just the
cool.
vine hair. It was like part of the traversal with it. I was looking at it and I was like, what's the fucking point here?
Yeah, like I know you can use like the Vine hair to make like little bridges in the sky and help propel you forward and stuff. I thought the Vine hair was a really interesting idea, which ties into me being intrigued by the game in general.
Yeah, because I found what I was looking for. It's an area where it's like there's a bunch of ladders going up, like little elevation,
Hmm.
like the elevation changes, and it's like there's ladders right there, but fuck the ladders. I just use my vine hair to scale upwards into
Yeah,
the
I know what you're
air
talking about. Yeah.
and just bypass the ladders. And I'm like, why are we putting ladders there then?
Right.
It's like why are we? But it's like it's just what we're. That's where I'm intrigued because I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand it, and maybe there's more to it that we haven't seen.
Right.
Maybe there's more to it. There'll be more things you could do with it, or like maybe it'll be more fun than it looks like. But it kind of just looks weird.
I feel like the game is going to potentially live and die by how weird or not weird that vine hair stuff feels. Because like it feels like it's a very like important element of the game, with just your general traversal. So I feel like it could potentially live or die. Because like kind of like what we were just saying about Fable, the combat looks serviceable, looks fine, looks fun for like an action, RPG, whatever. Looks fine. It didn't nothing blew me away, but like just like the traversal element. Look, it's like okay, this is interesting stuff. A very interesting concept with the vine hair. So I feel like it can live or die by that to an extent.
Yeah, it's one where it's like some of the actual like combat stuff, it looks it like looks fine.
Right.
It's just I don't know. That's gonna be where I'm looking at. I'm like, this is gonna entirely again, this is gonna be one where, like I said, Fable is gonna live and die for me by how the action adventure side of it feels. This game kind of is just like it looks interesting and weird, but it might just have that perfect blend when you actually play it.
Right.
So it's like I think I am just intrigued by it instead of excited because I look at it and I'm like, it's a bunch of stuff that doesn't look like it meshes together, but maybe when you actually play it, it feels great.
Yeah. Yeah. I can get that vibe. Me, I'm more in the intrigued side. I can definitely say that. Like I'm not jumping for joy. You know, I guess honestly, what the main thing I'm jumping for joy for is that hell yeah, it's coming to Game Pass. I was like, all right, that's cool. I'm here for that. Um, it's definitely a day one play. I will say that it's a day one play. I'm intrigued enough where day this thing drops, so whatever in summer, it is a day one play, 1,000%. Because like the general idea of the story is very intriguing. This post-apocalyptic Japan in 4026, whatever. Emma's got like this vine hair stuff and she's outcasted from the little bit of humanity that's left. They like fear her or whatever. Then you have this fucking dog that's involved with everything too. The factions seem pretty interesting. Like one example they showed was the golems, which are mechanics that humans transfer their like essence soul into to basically survive the current world. So like stuff like that is pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what other factions there are. Um, as well as just kind of learn more about the blight and the quote beast of reincarnation. So it's definitely intriguing. Like I say, it's a day one play because it's coming to Game Pass. If it wasn't coming to Game Pass, it might still be. It's a good chance it'd still be a day one play because this gives off the kind of vibes to me of where it's going to be a solid 8 out of 10 experience, and I'm here for it because they also said it'd take upwards, keyword upwards, to 40 hours to complete. I'm like, whoo, you speaking my language right now. A nice little 20 to 40 hour game, 8 out of 10. I'm here for it. I mean, it's gonna be a good time for me.
Yeah, Game Pass is gonna help this game out because this
Yeah,
this is this is one of the games for this year that like going into the showcase, I had seen it and I was like, it was kind of on the long list of maybes,
yeah, yeah.
and it's still like if it wasn't Game Pass, it would still be on the long list of maybes, but it's like it's coming to Game Pass, so it's like for 2026, this is going to be like my avowed pick of the year probably,
There you go.
where I'm like, I have no interest. I would have no interest in playing this game if it wasn't on Game Pass.
Right.
So maybe there'll be maybe it'll be like the sleeper hit of the year for me.
Yeah. It definitely shot itself pretty firmly on my radar because I was debating there when we did our most anticipated, like, should I mention this game or not? I'm like, well, no, I'm gonna say no. I just don't know. No, I don't know enough about it yet. But now I'm all in. Like I said, it's just mostly because it's Game Pass. No disrespect to the game, but I had a lot of other stuff coming out. So yeah, it coming to Game Pass will help this game big time, and I'm excited. I think Game Freak cooked. Again, the conversation around like the developing of it is absolutely stupid in my opinion because it's like people want to nitpick and point out, so oh well, the Gear Project, look into it. It's just like it's outsourced. Like yeah, I mean that most companies also outsource some work. At the end of the day, Game Freak is still primarily a Pokemon studio. We know that, but they still worked on the game in some capacity, even if it is just a small team. Relax, it's not a huge deal. Stop making it a huge deal. It's not a huge deal. Calm down. That's anything with Pokemon and Game Freak, though. That's the internet for you. That's the internet, baby. Then we also had Forza Horizon 6 and this secret game of Klein by Double Fine. Forza Horizon, just some tidbits.
Wait, you keep saying Klein, that works KILN.
Oh, KILN, my bad. We have Forza Horizon 6 and KILN. Look, my brain is in a pretzel. All right, cut me a little slack.
Yeah. I don't have much to say on Forza. Forza's
Looks pretty.
Forza.
Yeah, looks pretty.
It's like it's Forza, bunch of cars racing, looks great. It is what it is. I mean,
Yeah, correct.
there's a reason why at this point in time that we're basically down to like one open world driving game,
Right.
and it's because they've mastered it.
Yeah, they got it down. Got it down pat. Do you have any thoughts on KILN?
I not really.
The biggest
It
thing for
it
me that I liked is I like that Xbox just lets Double Fine do whatever they want. I thought that was cool.
yeah, it's one where it's like I don't necessarily have any interest in it. I don't have a whole lot of opinions on it, other than the fact that it is nice to see that it's kind of like what you said. Xbox is just there going, go have some fun.
Yeah.
It's like go have some fun, make what you want to make. We're here for you.
Yeah, basically. That was my favorite part of like the founder of Double Fine talked about it, where it's like whatever, like they called it something amnesia, whatever, where they just forget anything they've been working on and just come to the table all with different random game pitches and just see which one sticks. I was like, that's
Yeah,
interesting. I respect that Double Fine. I respect that.
yeah. It's what we're like. I was looking up a little video of it as we were sitting here, and I'm like, sure, sure. It's you. I'm sure they had a lot of fun making that game.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
But as far as me, I've got no
Yeah,
opinions on it.
I've got no opinion on Forza or KILN. I mean, my main opinion on KILN is I think it's cool that Double Fine can just do kind of what they want sometimes, and I think Forza looks unbelievably beautiful as
Yeah,
expected.
it's like Forza looks great. There's a chance that I may jump into it early on, or I may wait a little bit. I'll play it at some point because I found out like in the last year that I enjoy playing the Forza games.
Right.
So it's like I'll hop in and play it for probably a good 20 to 30 hours and have
Move
a
on.
great time, and then I'll move on.
Yep. No, I mean that's kind of my stance on it too. It's gonna be. I will say it's gonna be fun to at least jump into the game at like launch. So like it's coming to Game Pass. I'll hop on it, try it out, play it for 10 to 20 hours, have my fun, and get off. So I don't know. Overall, the developer direct I thought was pretty solid. I mean, I think Fable looked great for me. Beast of Reincarnation looked very intriguing, and the other two just looked fine. Is what it was. Another good developer direct, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's like for what we knew we were getting out of it, it's great.
Yeah,
It's like, I mean, they the main the main thing everybody cared about was Fable, and I feel like most people came away from from it saying like they had some faith in it or it looked good.
right.
Uh, and I mean, honestly, as much as I'm hesitant on it, and as much as I'm being kind of cautious towards it, that's just I've learned to be that way over the last few years with games. I find it there's still games where I'll get super excited for, but they're games where at this point I either trust the developers or I've been keeping an eye on it for long enough.
Right.
Fable is one where I don't. I kind of going into it with little to no faith and just hoping that it surprises me. Even with what they've shown looks like it's gonna be serviceable for me. But for right now, I can't tell if it's gonna be a 7 out of 10 game or a 9 out of 10 game.
I can see that. I'm flirting right there, just in the middle of those two. Like I look at Fable, I'm like, this is either gonna be an 8 or a 9 for me, just because
Yeah,
again, the living population is something that I loved. Like that whole concept of the other games, something I thought was so cool. I spent a lot of time on it, so it's like that element is what I'm interested in. But I can see where it could flirt down to a 7 for you,
yeah.
just because of what
For
you're interested
me,
in.
it's either gonna be, man, this game surprised me, or man, this was a game.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can get that. Either way, I mean, walked away with some stuff to kind of get excited for, and just what's going to be a year of like just really solid games. You know what I mean? Like we got a lot of solid games coming out this year. There's going to be those few that are going to be absolute bangers, but this is going to be just a year of solid games. We got a couple more to the lineup, so I'm here for that. Let me shout out some Rogue Energy because I'm also here for some Rogue Energy. Use the promo code Sparky3, get 10% off your order. Use our referral link down below. If they got a better sale going on, no big deal. Just use our referral link to help out the brand. Doesn't matter if you're picking hydration chill or the energy cans or tubs. Works for all of it. We'd appreciate that extra support. Everything's delicious. So really highly recommend that stuff. Did you watch the Life is Strange stuff?
I was about to say I'm gonna toss Life is Strange over to you real quick because as much as you were excited about the Xbox Developer Direct, I think this was probably the highlight for you. And I think this is probably what you were looking forward to more.
To an extent, I will say Fable blew me away with the living population.
But it's like looking
Yeah,
going
into the
going
week.
into
Yeah,
it, I'm pretty sure this was where your hype was living at,
yes.
and you were optimistic about Xbox. So you're also more familiar with like where this story's coming from.
Yep.
So I'm gonna let you take over for a minute.
Yeah, no, like if you recall when I talked about double exposure, I said I'm pretty sure on the show that this game will live and die by if it gets a sequel. You know what I mean? Because like the game itself was fine. Like it was a really fun story, some really interesting twists, some really interesting concepts, some bold concepts at times. But it really was going to live and die by if I got a sequel. Because unfortunately, it does have that type of ending where you need to continue this or this game's going to have a dumpster fire of an ending. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
it's got to have a sequel. And based on how everything we saw about the game with sales numbers and everything, the game bombed. So it's like, this is not looking too good. This is looking a little dicey. So the moment I saw like all the leaks coming out for this, that it was all confirmed, and I'm reading the leaks and I see Cauldron University mentioned. I'm like, oh my god, we're actually continuing the story. Immediately got excited, especially with Chloe coming back into the mix. And the way that they have handled Chloe coming back into the mix is, I got to say, really interesting. I'm actually a fan of it. I don't know if everyone is. I've been kind of reading the reception, and most people are just excited simply that Chloe is back. You know what I mean? That's kind of the general reception. I've seen a few people be a little iffy on, how they've taken the approach to how she's back. I've seen some people be a fan for it or just fine for it. I actually kind of like it, where you basically make all the choices kind of going into the game based on like key choices and double exposure, as well as key choices from the first game. And those key choices will basically just give you the different branching narratives. So like if you chose to save Chloe over Arcadia Bay, then you have dialogue options about how Arcadia Bay is still there and still like going, and Max confused because Max let Arcadia Bay be destroyed, and it's the same thing vice versa, where it's just like asking Chloe, what does she remember? And it's just like, I remember getting shot laying on the bathroom floor. It's like, yeah, I let you die to save Arcadia Bay, whatever. And then Max also being shocked that Chloe's mom's alive, and just everything about it. From the showcase we saw, when Max hit the conclusion point of double exposure with the two different timelines that we had going on and merged them together, she also merged together those two timelines. So it sounds kind of fucky to an extent, but like with the case and scenario of Life is Strange and getting to this point where both options matter, honestly, it was the best option and it makes the most sense. You know what I mean? Under the lore and the context that Deknon established with double exposure and how her powers worked in double exposure, it makes the most sense, even if it is a little fucky, that she merged the Chloe lives and Chloe dies timeline together with how with double exposure ended. I also do appreciate that even with the devs, they've got the famous joke of save Bay or the Bay, because in the trailer, it actually had it up at like the top corner. It's just like, Chloe lives, and in parentheses it had Bay, and then it's like the other one, it's just like Chloe dies, and it had sacrifice Bay. So I do appreciate that they acknowledged the meme. That was funny. I appreciated that. With this one, your rewind powers are going to be available from the start. That's something that kind of came in bits and pieces and double exposure. And I'm also just excited to see how this multi-memory thing is going to kind of like play out, because Chloe's in a position where she's basically forming memories that's not hers. So that's why she's come to find Max, is because she sees situations of events that took place in double exposure. She sees Max's friend Safi and basically multiple things that Max did and everything that took place in double exposure. And Chloe is witnessing it in her memories as if she lived it. So it's a really interesting concept of how these two are tied together. And I'm glad the game is coming out soon, March 26th. This is a day one pickup, day one play. It's not going to be an episodic format. It's just going to be like, let's just jump into the game, get through the game. So I'm excited for it. This is the finale for Max and Chloe. And honestly, I would argue that it's potentially just the finale of Life is Strange. I'd argue that. Um, Double Exposure did not sell well, even with the return of Max. True Colors, I think, sold okay. Same thing with 2, but 2 was originally Deck 9, or I'm sorry, Don't Nod. So I could see this being the grand finale of the property, where we finish this story and the property gets shelved for quite some time. I mean, when you're saying that you're about to deliver the finale of like the two most important characters of the franchise, like that gives off major like, hey, we're putting this property down for a long time kind of vibes. Like that's what it gives off to me. So I'm definitely gonna enjoy this experience. I thought Double Exposure's story was fine for what it was. Again, I felt like Double Exposure lived and died by if the game got a sequel, and we got the sequel. So I'm excited for it, man. This is a day one pickup for me. Everything that I saw for it, in the extended showcase, kind of showing that Rewind is back in general. Gameplay elements, playing as Chloe and Max both. I'm excited, and I hope you play Double Exposure so you can jump on this with me. You need to get on it.
Yeah, so I like I said last week, it's one where I kind of feel like I need to sit down and play through because I would like to play this when it comes out, but my plan is, like I said last week, I want to sit down and I want to go back from the beginning with Life is Strange and just play it all,
Yeah,
just like binge through all of it to have everything, all the knowledge ready there for like the conclusion of it. And it is one where it's like, yeah, I kind of agree. I do think that after this, Life is Strange is probably done.
yeah,
Like just as a property. And it's one where, yeah, you know, it's kind of unfortunate. Uh just because like the first Life is Strange was,
a beloved classic.
it was very beloved. It like playing it back then like meant a lot like to me. And it's one where just over time it's it you never want to see like a property essentially die or
Yeah,
just like fall out of favor. But at the same time, sometimes I would rather see I would rather see them go out like with their glorious ending than to just keep trying and
failing.
over time fail and fail and fail.
Looking at you, Assassin's
Because
Creed.
it's one where, yeah, it's like double exposure was not successful. It's like I don't remember if True Colors was successful. I
I don't
think
remember.
if I remember it like maybe broke even. But it's like that's kind of been the trend with Life is Strange for a while, which I mean, yeah, it makes sense with like bringing Max back, now bringing Chloe back, and just go for the finale, go big, end it, and hopefully everybody comes back uh for like the finale of it.
Yeah,
But also I hope that if everybody comes back for the finale of it to see the conclusion of Life is Strange, that they don't take it the wrong way and
yeah,
think that, oh, everybody wants more Life is Strange. No, it's just we want to see the finale of it done how you imagine it.
yeah. True.
Also, I will say it's a little unfortunate that like Life is Strange is potentially like ending now, and Life is Strange is kind of like one of the long-standing bastions of like that style of game.
Yeah.
Choices matter in that.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate that that's kind of ending after we kind of saw the resurgence with Dispatch.
True.
So it's like it's one where maybe like the slower story pace style of these games has kind of fallen out of fashion.
Mhm.
Maybe it is the more cinematic approach that is what we're all excited about going forward.
Yeah.
Or who knows, maybe take a couple years off it and try again with a new franchise.
Right. Yeah, a new franchise, or if you want to try to hit that Life is Strange, title again, continue on I don't know how 2 ends, but continue on the brother's story, or continue on the character from True Colors. I can't remember her name. There are other options you could do if you really wanted to, but it still feels kind of finale-ish. But maybe you're right. Maybe it's just with what Dispatch did, it's like that more cinematic fashion versus what Life is Strange is, where you get
Yeah,
dropped into zones and kind of just walk around and figure out a zone or whatever.
yeah. It's one where I would almost say if you want to make another style game like it, it's like go for something completely new.
Yeah,
To let the Life is Strange name kind of fall to the wayside. Send it out in a blaze of glory,
true.
and then just let it live in people's memory for however they experienced the game.
Right.
If they didn't play them all, or if they played everything, we don't need to just keep reviving it, hoping that eventually it'll catch back on how it used to.
Yeah. No, I can agree to that. Because I really want to see this game go out in a blaze of glory, because Double Exposure was a fun game. I mean, I enjoyed it. It should unfortunately didn't so well, and it needed that sequel. So I really do hope this thing goes out in a blaze of glory. And like you said, kind of let the property kind of do its thing. And then 10 years from now, we'll get a full scale remake of the first game, because money. Yeah,
Yeah,
give it
I
time.
mean, it's one where it's like it's unfortunate to say, but it's like there's a reason why the first Life is Strange has been remastered and
Yeah.
come out multiple times since then. It's because that's when it came out, it was fresh, it was unique.
Yep.
Everybody was in love with it. We fell in love with the characters
Yep.
and the story at that time. And then you went away from those characters, and as good as everything else they've done is, we fell in love with it for Max and Chloe in that story.
Yep. Oh man, tired of this cough. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited for it, dude. March 26th, gonna be a highlight for me. That's for sure. That is a day one pickup, a hands down. I wonder if it's getting a physical release. I haven't seen one yet, but I would like to get it physically, because I got True Colors and Double Exposure physically for PS5. So hopefully this one's got a physical release too.
I would almost imagine that they would, but at the same time, it's like it's not with their games not having been very successful for the last few, they may just give up on that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, the future that we're going towards. I'm not a fan of it. I have not embraced it yet, and I will not embrace it unless I have to embrace it.
I mean, there's still instances where I don't embrace it. I mean, I have on my desk right here. I've got eight Switch games,
There you go.
just 8 Switch game cases sitting here that I buy because there's certain games or like for certain pieces of hardware where I want the cases. It is a combination of it because most of these games that I have on my desk are they're for Switch, which I buy all physical games for Switch for the most part, but they're also just games that I really wanted the physical copies of.
Did you see the Trails in the Sky first chapter, like steelbooks, available right now?
No,
Yeah,
I hadn't seen those,
yeah, it's available on
but
like Video Game Plus if you want to go check it out. Looked like a pretty clean steelbook.
no, but I do have
There you go.
my Trails this guy there, my still sealed not yet opened because I haven't busted into it. My Tales of Zillia.
Nice. Oh God. All right, let me shout out some merch too. Go to sparky3shop.com, pick up some merch. It's pretty cold out there, so go buy the hoodie. Go buy the 7 out of 10 is a good game, because it is. 7 out of 10 is a good game score, so go support that narrative, as well as do better, because we all need to do better. Go pick up some merch at sparky3shop.com. We'd appreciate that extra support. Oh, you got anything that you want to shout out, man, or are you ready to start going through the weekly wrap up?
I think we can mostly just go through the weekly wrap up. I
Okay.
don't have a whole lot this week.
Well, we have a Highguard
I-
launch showcase
I
coming
was
out.
gonna say here in a couple weeks I'll probably start to have some more interesting or like more stuff to talk about it in these segments, but I still got nothing for right now.
Yeah, still in your show kick, not your game kick. But
Yeah.
games are
Still
gonna be.
still in my chill phase and not really playing a lot of games.
I want the record to be known that there was the announcement of when the Cube open beta, whatever, was gonna come, and I sent it to John, and John's just like, "Well, I guess I know when my return to gaming is," and I was like, "Not the slop is the reason you come back."
I'm gonna come back before that probably, but that is there's a great reason to hold off until then,
Yeah,
just because it'd be funny.
it would be very funny if the Cube open beta is the reason why you come back to gaming after your little break you've been on. But anyway, we have a Highguard launch showcase taking place on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time when the game comes out. The Twitter account has finally posted something. I gotta say, following this game and the lack of story there is has been really interesting, because now that the launch showcase has been announced, I'm seeing so many people that have actually got a chance to play it, like different content creators and stuff like that, that are all actually saying, no, this game is actually really fun. Like, this game is legitimately a lot of fun. And Jeff now trolling about it, where he's put out a GIF where he's just like, I will formally be accepting your apologies here soon. So I don't know. The verdict around the game is actually pretty positive going into this launch showcase. So I'm gonna check it out, and I'm probably gonna maybe try the game on Monday since it's free to play.
I mean, the thing is, the game can be fun. The problem is, a lot of games can be fun. A lot of games are fun, but it's like, why? What is gonna make me want to, or what is gonna make people want to play it? Like Jeff being like, "Oh, I'll formally accept your apologies now." Hey, wait till the game succeeds before you start trying to say that, Jeff.
Right, right. No,
You could be saying that and Monday hits and that game hits 250 players.
I know. I think that
Granted, it's gonna hit higher than that because they're probably gonna sponsor more people than that to play it.
true, true. No,
But
I did see
yeah,
someone who,
this is one where this is gonna be, if anybody plays this, it's gonna be you.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try it. I saw someone say that the game is actually a lot of fun. Gameplay is great, but they did say that the game is going to be very sweaty. I'm like, it's gonna be one of those. Okay, got it. Uh,
Yeah.
but I don't know. The verdict actually right now online is that you don't know what's coming. It's actually it's getting memed on, but people are saying like, "Hey, I know it's been memed on, but this game is actually a lot of fun. Just hold on, and pay attention." So I don't know. I'll watch the launch showcase on Monday, and I'll be very curious to see what kind of player counts this game kind of draws in. Because I mean, it's full go. We're a couple days out from launch, even though there's been no marketing besides one of Jeff Keighley. So shout out. We also have a Nintendo Direct tomorrow on a Sunday for Super Mario Galaxy. Because number one, why not do a Direct on Sunday? And two, why not do a Direct for Mario Galaxy movie? Why not?
I did it. I don't. It's one where I don't understand it because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you do a direct or not. You just do it when to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The movie's gonna come out. The movie's gonna come out, and the movie's gonna make all the money.
Yep.
It's like, I don't necessarily have any interest in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but you know what? I watched the other movie. The other movie was great, so I'm gonna watch this one because I want to see if it's as great as the other one was.
Yep. Yep.
And it's like that is gonna be everyone else who in the world.
Yep.
So
Who?
yeah, this movie's gonna make all the money. You don't need to promote it.
Yeah, I know.
All you need to do is, it's like,
Drop it.
before it comes out, just be like, hey, the movie comes out next week, and everybody's gonna go see it.
Yep. Yep. It's gonna make all the money. So I don't know. I guess we'll see whatever this direct is tomorrow at 8. I'll probably still be asleep. Honestly, I've been sleeping in recently because I'm a bum. Let's
8
see.
o'clock, you fucking bum.
It would actually be 7 o'clock for us.
I take you bum.
I have been a bum. You know what time I woke up today, John? 10 o'clock.
I haven't slept till 10 in I don't know. I must have been deathly ill.
So
So 10 years ago.
so that well, yeah, that's fair for you. That's fair. That's fair for you. That's fair. No, I was up pretty late because I was watching Unreal, and dude, I just could not stop coughing, and I finally just took some Nyquil once I was done with Unreal, and it just knocked me out. So this was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I was just clocked out. I didn't even want to wake up at 10. Christina's the one that got me up. She's like, dude, it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, no, it's not. And I look at the phone. Oh shit, it is. It's like, all right, I guess I'm obligated to get up now as an adult in society. But yeah, dude, I felt like shit last night. I could not stop coughing. Kind of like this show. Have not been able to stop coughing. Mario Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition is coming out on March 26th. The upgrade pack is $20. So shout out to that. Universal Studios Japan confirms a new immersive Pokemon experience is coming to the park, built around using all 5 senses, whatever that means. Set to come
Sounds
to
fucking
Orlando.
weird.
Yeah, I know. I sent it to Andy, and Andy's just like, "What do you mean using all 5 senses?" I'm like, "That's what I'm saying." It is set to come to Orlando later, so that's
That
cool.
sounds fucking weird.
I know.
You know what? Maybe we're saying it's weird. Maybe they're truly being geniuses about it.
I mean, hey, Nintendo World at Orlando is just chock full of Nintendo creativeness. So I can only imagine whatever this is going to be. It does sound like it's simply an experience, not an actual
Oh
like,
yeah, I almost certain this is like a you go through this in an hour and you're done type
yeah,
thing.
not an actual park because they're also about to open their Poke Park Kanto over in Japan.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I still think there's a possibility of a park because for anyone wanting to know, my insiders, when it comes to Universal over in Orlando, there is still a lot of conversation on what's happening at IOA and USF because Simpsons, their contract is about to run up either next year or early 2028. And keep in mind, Simpsons is owned by Disney. So it doesn't make much sense for Universal to renew with it, which I think is going to be Pokemon. That's what my assumption is, but we shall see. There was also the Ubisoft purge this week, which I took a casualty in this. Very upsetting. Multiple projects has been canceled or shelved. More layoffs are coming February 12th. Some canceled projects. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake has officially been canceled. Even though it was to a point where it was about to come out, they were just doing last minute bug fixes and it was ready to go. So the game is ready and it's just never going to come out. Because I was under the mindset they were like we talked about last week. They were just going to shadow drop this thing. They know they're not going to make money on it. Just go ahead and get it out there, get it done. Now they're just like, nah, who gives a shit? Just cancel it. Assassin's Creed post Civil War game is canceled. Watch Dogs is apparently dead and buried at this point. That one's not coming back. A new Splinter Cell and Star Wars Outlaws 2. And then for some games that survive but they've been shelved, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag Remake, somehow Beyond Good and Evil 2 survives. I understand the first game is beloved, but this game's been in development for damn near 20 years. And then there was also 6 other games that got shelved for the moment that we don't know what they are. But biggest casualty for me, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. This game's a very beloved game for me. It's got a very personal attachment to it. So sad to see that it's been canceled. I know it wasn't going to sell well. It was not going to sell well at all. This game's been in development for a very, very long time, gone through development hell. So, what a purge. Damn it, Ubisoft.
I'm kind of surprised that like Black Flag remake survives, but like Star Wars Outlaws 2 doesn't.
Right.
Because like, yeah, Star Wars Outlaw didn't. It wasn't like the award-winning success that they probably were hoping it was gonna be.
True.
But it's one of those where it's like the people that played it enjoyed it.
Yeah. Enjoy what it was.
It was one where it's like, yeah, it's people, not a ton of people played it, but the reception for it seemed to be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Also bummed to see Splinter Cell, get the shaft there. Splinter Cell's fun. I enjoy Splinter Cell games. That one's kind of been dead for a long time too. So, but I don't know. Ubisoft, like me and you, we text about this. Like I would be shocked to see if Ubisoft was still a thing within 2 years, you know?
They've had very little success. They never have any good marketing.
Yeah,
Everything that comes out, like with the Ubisoft name, for the most part, is like frowned upon, if not generally despised by
true.
the gaming community. And then it's like, then you do this where it's like the person just say at the time, yeah, you're not gonna make money on the game, but the game was done, and you're not gonna release it at all. An Assassin's Creed post Civil War game sounds more interesting than half the shit you put out for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
It's like I would I have played it? Probably not, but it would have been more interesting than half of the other games that you've put out in the last couple years.
yeah. You know, when it comes to
So
Ubisoft, like they've secured their big properties, you know, with Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and what Division, I think, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They've
But even
secured
then,
those
it's like,
three with the deal with Tencent with Vantage Studios. So now it just feels like everything else Ubisoft is on the chopping block.
but it's like even there, like securing Far Cry seems weird. It's like, yeah, it's a beloved franchise but it's beloved because of the old games associated with it.
Yeah,
It's like your new games haven't made any money. It's
yeah,
like they come out, people forget about it.
true. I think 6 is the most forgettable one of the bunch for sure. 5 was very mid. Did not care for Primal, even though it was super interesting. Never played New Dawn, which is a sequel to 5. 4 was fun. 3 was obviously the GOAT. 3 and 4 were a lot of fun. Then the old ones are the old ones.
Yeah, it's like they kind of peaked at 3,
Yeah,
and then they've just continued to come out with them. It's like this is, I do, like we were saying with Life is Strange earlier. It's like you could just let this one sit back for a little while,
yeah.
bring
Come
it
back to
back.
it.
It's like maybe bring it back once people forget about it, because you just keep making the same damn game.
Yep.
Because the problem is, it's like with Far Cry 3 is the most beloved, or one of the most beloved games of its time. Problem is, Ubisoft has made the same game ever since then.
Correct. Yeah, it's kind of like what we joked about Avatar. Oh, it looks like a cool skin for a Far Cry game.
Yep.
Yep. Apparently, Avatar's great now since they added updates and included third person mode that should have been there at the start. Now that that's in the game, apparently people really like Avatar. It's a beautiful world, I'll tell you that. Really fun to traverse and stuff, but the game itself is okay. Anyway, Nate the Hate confirms that Resident Evil Code Veronica remake is in development for 2027. You know, just friendly reminder with Nate. He does not usually say anything unless he's confident. He is one of the most reliable leakers in that regard. He does not put anything out into the universe unless he knows it's legit. So, shout out to that. Code Veronica looks like it's getting a remake in 2027. Greedfall: The Dying World fully launches March 2nd. I say fully launched because it has been in essentially early access on Steam for a hot minute. And you have been able to play it up to this point, but the full game is set to launch here soon. Christopher Judge commented on Ryan Hurst getting cast as Kratos. All I wanted for whoever was cast as Kratos was that they love and cherish and respect Kratos as much as we all do. And with Ryan Hurst, they have done just that. It's a magnificent choice, not only a great actor, but a great person and a gamer who's actually played God of War since its inception. Hey, that's a nice seal of approval from Christopher Judge for Ryan Hurst. You know, it's like what me and you talked about. It's just like, you know, Ryan Hurst, like, you know, he gets the role, you know, playing opposite of Christopher Judge.
It's
So,
like you have someone who you like for it. He understands he understands character, he understands it, and most importantly, he respects it.
yeah. So it really does feel like a perfect casting. So excited to actually see him in the makeup and the costume. Excited to see what it looks like. Dragon Ball's 40th anniversary event is on 125. This is over in Japan, so literally, John, like right now, it is actually set to start in 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I was gonna be looking at it over the next couple hours,
Yeah.
seeing what actually gets announced.
Yeah, reveals new things for the franchise, including a new game, and everyone is saying online, "Hey, it's now or never." Xenoverse 3, and I'm like, never. It's
I
not
mean,
happening.
we've been fucking saying it for 5 years.
Yeah, it's now or never. Is this the time we finally
We've
get
been
Xenoverse 3?
saying it's got to be this year for 5 years now.
I know. But hey, this is it, 40th anniversary. You know, it's so jarring to think about how long Xenoverse 2 has been out with all and it continuing to get in content because I'll see like side by sides of like let's say recently, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima, and I'll see side by sides in all the different current ongoing Dragon Ball games. And just the graphical difference in Xenoverse 2 versus anything else is very jarring.
But which
Very
one do you
jarring.
think? Which one do you think made more money?
That's a great point. Kakarot or Xenoverse. But yeah,
It's
no,
like
it's
if you gotta
very
think,
jarring.
it's Xenoverse 2's got all that time built into it. Plus, every one of them new characters is a DLC pack.
I know. I love Xenoverse 2. What a great
Xenoverse
game.
2 has funded all of these games.
Yeah. Love Xenoverse 2, man. It's such a fun game. I love Xenoverse 2 so much.
I just want another one. I want a 3.
Yeah. Animal Crossing New Horizons Aquarium Tour is back for 2026. So if you missed it last time, now's a good time to go check out all the cities that it is going to. There is a random new game that was announced that creeped into my timeline. I want to shout out because it does look pretty cool, called Mechborn. It's a
It looks
roguelike.
fucking sick.
It looks really cool. I'm glad you actually went and looked at it because I thought it looked so cool. Roguelike deck building game with kaiju battles that has like 90s era anime inspired mechs coming to PS5 later
This
this year.
game, it's already on my wish list. The most gaming centric thing I've done in a month is I added this game to my wish list.
Nice. Yeah, as soon as I saw this, I sent it to both you and Zach both, where I was like, I think this is a game both of them are going to enjoy. It looks really cool. So if you haven't checked out Mechborn yet, go watch the trailer for it. It looks really interesting. How do you pronounce his first name? My brain.
I would just say Kitsuke.
That was
Kitsuki.
that was what I was going to say. My brain's in a pretzel.
Something like that.
The sad part is I know how to pronounce it because I pronounced it just earlier, but my brain's in a pretzel right now. I can't stop coughing at the moment. I'm dying over here. Kensuke Tanabe, who worked with Nintendo as a producer, designer, and writer, and more since Super Mario Bros. 2 in 1988, has confirmed that Prime 4 was his final game, and he hopes the story continues as it is imagined as the first of a Silux story. I think Silux is cool as hell. I would love a full Silux story, and hopefully it is continued. I have not finished Prime 4, but I do know kind of what happens with the ending of Prime 4, and yeah, hopefully it does continue. Crimson Desert has gone gold, so shout out to that. That is coming out here soon. Already shouted that out earlier. And lastly, James Gunn is directing Dispatch live action series. Feels like a perfect situation. They've also been announcing, like, I guess there's gonna be a live action series and a live action movie. There's two different things happening at the same time. I don't know.
I don't know. I've
because I saw official castings for the movie. Like Matthew Lillard is
gonna
be Shroud. That's pretty cool.
I feel like I've heard a bunch of different news, and I'm like, I don't. At this point, I've heard so many different things. I don't know which one's true or not.
Yeah. Either way, more Dispatch in any form is a good thing. But yeah, it's like Robert Pattinson has been cast as like Mecha Man. I'm drawing a blank on her name, but the protagonist from the Five Nights movies, she's been casted as Blonde Blazer. I forgot who's casted as Invisigal, and then Matthew Lillard as Shroud, which that's pretty cool. I'm down for that. Matthew Lillard's great, but James Gunn being tagged for the live action series, that's cool. That is cool. You got any news to shout out, or are you ready for Gamestead Game of the Week? You got something?
I have some. I just don't know if I've mentioned it before.
Who knows, man? I don't know if the list is up to date in the Discord.
We should be able to immediately know. I did a search in the channel earlier, but didn't see it pop up, so I'm gonna just assume that I'm good to go on it.
Okay.
Gamestead Game of the Week, game I've talked about a lot since it came out. It honestly, like last year, it was one of my favorite games. I think it was last year. Yeah. One of my favorite games to come out that I played a lot of. Gamestead Game of the Week, Esports Godfather.
Yeah, I don't think that one's ever made it.
It's honestly, it's probably one of the newer games that I've ever talked about. Besides just like the occasional roguelike that I get really into and mention like as I'm playing it. But Esports Godfather was man, me and Zach both really enjoyed this game. It's a deck building esports game where you are the manager for a team, so you draft your you draft your players for coaching a MOBA team, and each player has their own like champions that they specialize in. They have their own like abilities that affect like how the actual matches are played out. It's like you have to train their stats, train like pick the way that they play in the game, which is kind of just like their perks in that. And then the actual gameplay is the matches that you play against. You go through a pick and ban phase against the other team, where you actually ban the champions, pick and ban the champions for your team, and then it is at that point a deck building card game where it kind of the resources build up and the game kind of auto plays itself for a period until you build up enough resources, and then you start playing cards for your turn to determine the outcome of the match. And it's one where when I initially played it with a demo, I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. Then the game came out and I played it nonstop. It is one of the most addicting deck builders that I had played for a while. And it's one of my favorites. It's still getting updates. They're still putting out like DLC packs and stuff for it. And one of the fun things about the game is it is a like an esports MOBA game, but as you play through it and go through each season of it, there's balance patches for like the champions in game. So it's like they'll change how the pick and ban phase works. They'll change how the stats of the champions in game. They'll change how the cards for each character work. So it's one where it's like as you play through the game, and you get deeper and deeper into it, man, a lot of the mechanics are vastly different from where they start out at, and it becomes a lot of fun. And it's one where if you like deck building games, I recommend it. If you like kind of esports management type games, then yeah, I still recommend it there, because it's like I've played, or I've started and played through a bunch of different seasons on it, and each time I play it, I try to play it a little bit differently, and like each time I jump in and play it, it's a unique experience every time, and it's one that I look forward to every time I go to play it. So and it's like I'll probably be doing it again soon.
Nice.
But yeah, Gamestead Game of the Week, Esports Godfather, go check it out.
Nice. Yeah. No, I know whenever we were doing our bracket, depending on how that game fell, you and Zach were about to push that thing to the finals. It
Yeah.
did not
If
fall
it
the right
wouldn't
way.
have, if it didn't fall unfavorably,
Yeah.
I would have, me and Zach would have teamed up to push that thing to the finals.
Yeah. No, you guys were extremely addicted to that game. All right. Music's hit, John. Final thoughts. Let's get out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you like what you saw with us here, we do these live streams every Saturday about 6 p.m. Central Time. So you can come check us out then.
Yeah, and if you come by next week, you'll also get some of our live reactions to the Royal Rumble and any surprises that are going on next week. So shout out to that. Saturday Night Main Event is apparently starting like right now. I forgot that was even a thing tonight. So I might go turn that on and watch it. I don't know. Those are always feel like non-canon events to an extent, but it's just
pretty
fun.
much. Yeah,
it's fun.
They just kind of happen.
Hey, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, so I'm gonna watch it. Why not? It'll be fun. But yeah, make sure to check out the Patreon as well if you want to support us further. Join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend. My brain's in a pretzel. I'm gonna go lay down. Bye.